Okay. And let's go ahead and share the class. Let's go ahead and share the class. All right. Give me 1 second. We're about to go ahead and get started. Okay. Okay, it's probably the echo that's coming from the thing. But all right, we're about to go ahead and get started. Okay. Hey, Shalom. Yahanna Shem Yahushua, Barak Thumb, to my brothers out there, and Yahweh Shamar, Alathan, Bahashem Yahushua, to my sisters. Hey, man, thanks for tuning in. This is the I.S.U.P.K Milwaukee. This is the brotherhood class, okay? It's the brotherhood class. And, of course, in the brotherhood class, we're going to teach you, what I'm saying, all about brotherhood, all about loving your brothers, man, all about loving your sisters, all about loving your neighbors, okay? According to the Bible, who is considered your neighbor according to the Bible? Your neighbor is your own people. Your neighbor would be a fellow Black, Hispanic, or Native person, woman, man, woman, or child. Okay, them are your neighbors. And in this class, we're going to teach you how to act towards them, or what the Bible say, how you should act towards your brother, how you act towards your sister. You know what I'm saying? Yahweh or Jesus Christ, he laid down the blueprint. He laid down the foundation, okay, on how to treat your brothers and how to treat your sisters, man. And we have these classes in every state all across the United States. Why? Because brotherhood is important in order to get up out of the captivity that we're in here today in America. Okay, without brotherhood, we're going to continue being slavery. We're going to continue being the last hire, first fire. We're going to continue to be in poverty. You understand? We're going to continue being at the bottom of the totem pole. We're going to continue having these other nations come inside our communities and eat and gobbling up the resources, man. Okay, so that's what these classes is here for. So let's go ahead and get into it. The title of the class is "Abortion is Murdering Our Future." Now I'm about to go ahead and get into the topic. If y'all have any questions, okay, if y'all have any questions, go ahead and type in the comments. All right, type in the comments. Share the class. Share your opinion. Okay. In fact, let's write a post right now. Hold on. All right, you want to ask a question right now. All right. So let's go ahead and get to it. All right, first, we're going to go on the scriptures. We always going to go in the scriptures first. Let's go to Genesis chapter 1 and 28. All right. And get the Bible. We're going to go to Genesis chapter 1, verse 28. All right. It says, I'm going to start at verse 27 just to get a context, get a clear understanding, okay? This is Genesis chapter 1, verse 27. So God created man in his own image. In the image of God created he him. Male and female created he them. All right. So during this time, the Lord made a lot of people on the face of the earth. Okay. Contrary to popular belief, the Christian church like to teach you that the first man and first woman was Adam and Eve. That is not true. You understand? That is not true at all. When the Lord made people, he made a whole bunch of people at the same time. All right? Adam and Eve was not the first people. Adam and Eve were the first beings to receive the truth from the Lord. All right? So let's go down to verse 28. And God blessed them. And God said unto them, be fruitful and multiply and replenish the earth and subdue it. You hear that? This is what the Most High wants us to do. As blacks and Hispanics and natives, we supposed to be having, the Lord said, be fruitful and multiply. You're supposed to be having children, man. Children. He said to replenish the earth. All right? I mean, come on, man. Right now, what's killing us right now are abortions. You understand? Black women are committing abortions to the tune of 400,000 a year. All right? About 400,000 a year. That is sad. That is sad. The numbers are staggering. When you look at the numbers are catastrophic. The numbers are detrimental. You understand? I mean, to the tunes of 400,000. We're the number one. That's one of the number one. That's the number one leading cause of Black death. That's the leading cause of Black death or abortions. You understand? And before we try to tackle anything else on the matter of what's happening to Blacks and Hispanics and Native people, we need to tackle that first. I think that's the first thing that we need to tackle because that's what's killing us. You understand? You're killing babies before they even being born. You know what I'm saying? By a tool called abortion. By a tool called abortion. Yes, I'm saying. All right, abortion. You understand? Look, we're gonna go deeper into the history of abortion. All right. So we're gonna let's keep reading. Let's finish off the scripture. In fact, I'm gonna start back from 28. It says, "And God blessed them, and God said unto them, Be fruitful and multiply, and replenish the earth, and subdue it, and have dominion over the fish of the sea, over the fowls of the air, and over the living things that move upon the earth." Okay, so the Lord wanted the people that he created, that he made at one time, he wanted them to be fruitful and to multiply, have children, you know what I'm saying, to be replenished, you know what I'm saying, to subdue the earth, to subdue the animals, to subdue the fish, to subdue the birds. Okay, moving on. Okay, so we're going to go into the history of abortion. Now, look, the scriptures say there's nothing new under the sun. Abortion has always been here since damn near the beginning of time. Almost the beginning of the time, man. Abortion has been here for a long time. All right? There's nothing new under the sun, meaning everything that had already happened in the past is happening again in the future. You understand? There was things like smoking weed. Smoking weed ain't nothing new. You understand? People back then in the ancient days smoked weed. People back in the ancient days did things that we're doing now. It's nothing new. It's nothing new at all. All right. It's a new. This is a new day, a new age, but the same BS. Okay. So we're gonna keep going. We're gonna go into the. We're gonna go into. Let's go ahead and get Exodus chapter 1 and 5. Let's start off with that. All right. Exodus chapter 1 verse 5. All right. This is Exodus chapter 1 and verse 5. All right. I'm gonna start at verse 14 just to get the idea of what's going on, get the concept. All right. Verse 14. And they made their lives bitter. No, I'm sorry, verse 13, okay? And the Egyptians made the children of Israel to serve with rigor. Now, the children of Israel, which are blacks, Hispanics, and natives, you understand, we was in captivity in Egypt once, okay? And while we was in captivity in Egypt, The Egyptians, you understand, made us, we were slaves of the Egyptians, and they made us work with rigor. I'm talking about they made us work, you know what I'm saying, something fierce. All right, something fierce with rigor, hard work. This is a rough bondage that we was in. I'm talking about we was working hard. You thought a nigga worked hard in America. We was working hard up in Egypt. Okay? The same thing that's happening now. What I just say, I said there's nothing new under the sun. So what happened in the past is happening today in the future. Okay? Verse 14. And they made their lives bitter with hard bondage. I mean, look, we all can relate. Every Black, Hispanic, and Native person can relate. You understand? We're working with hard bondage right now. You understand? The moment you quit your job, you're going to lose your house. You can't pay your mortgage. You can't pay your bills. You can't pay your cell phone. I mean, imagine that. Like your whole entire life is dictated on a job. On a job, working a 9 to 5. You understand? You think your oppressor's life is dictated on that? No. Their life is not dictated on that at all. In fact, they are free people. They are free. They ain't bogged down with work. They are not bogged down with work. They are not bogged down with having to wake up and go to a 9 to 5 job. Now, you know, they do, but they go to a 9 to 5 job where they're making very good money. If I had to if I woke up and I was going to $60 an hour jobs, I would be happy every day. Every day. Let me get overtime. But look, most of the time we're going to these, you know what I'm saying, no good paying jobs. Jobs that's $12, $13, $14 an hour. Some of y'all are working $9 an hour, $10 an hour. That's no money to live on. How could you live on $10 an hour? That's hard bondage right there, man. You're working for scraps. You're working for scraps, man. That's hard bondage. And that's exactly what the Egyptians did to the children of Israel. We worked a hard bondage. You understand? Let me keep going. So like, we worked a hard bondage. It says in mortar and in brick and in matter of service in the field. We was in the field, same thing like we did. We was in slavery in America, slavery for America. We was in the field too. What we was doing? We was picking cotton. You understand? We was picking cotton. We was building houses. You know what I'm saying? You said what? We was doing everything. We was picking sugar cane. We was picking tobacco. We was picking cotton. We was in the field picking corn, picking everything that you can imagine. Same thing in America. We were slaves. It says, and they made their lives bitter with hard bondage in mortar and in brick and in the matter of service in the field. All their service, wherein they made them serve, was with rigor. Everything they made us do, you understand, was hard, was with rigor, was hard, man. Hard bondage. You understand? Imagine you had to go to work and you had to work 16 hours a day. No questions asked. You had to work 16 hours from sun up to sundown. You understand? Most of us go to these jobs and whatnot. You on your feet for 8 hours, your feet hurting. When you get home, your feet is sore. You can't even get up the next day. Your back is hurting. Your legs is hurting. Your arms is hurting. Your neck is hurting. You understand? Everything in your body is hurting. But imagine during slavery. We're in slavery now, but imagine when he was on the fields, man. In captivity and slavery, man. You worked 16 hours. You went home, your feet was hurting, everything was hurting, and you had to get back. Ain't no calling off. You had to get back up the next day and do it all over again. Another 16. People died out there in the field. People died from working too much. You could die from working too much. Who would have known? You could die. Someone could die from working too much. All right. Let's go back down to 15. This is the key. All right. Remember the topic is abortions. Verse 15. And the king of Egypt spake to the Hebrew, and the king of Egypt spake to the Hebrew midwives. What is a midwife? Go ahead.
A slave woman who takes care of master's child.
A slave woman that takes care of master's child. All right. You ain't guessing, is you? Yeah. See, you guessing. Let's go ahead and look it up on the phone. That's the important thing about the UPK. You understand? We don't guess anything. You know what I'm saying? If you want to know something, we go on our fancy phones, our fancy iPhones, and then we get the information out. We're gonna look it up. We're gonna see what the definition means. All right. What is a midwife? You got it yet? Go ahead. Make sure you talk louder for the camera.
It says midwives are specialists in the normal process of pregnancy, birth, and the postpartum period. Midwives manage many common obstetrics complications and work in collaboration with obstetricians to provide safe care for women. That's what I got.
All right, read the top of that again one more time.
Midwives are specialists in the normal process of pregnancy.
Stop right there. It said these are women. A midwife is a woman that specializes in what?
In the normal process of pregnancy.
In the normal process of pregnancy. That's what a midwife is. And what is there anything else on that? Read again. Read that. Keep going.
Birth and the postpartum period.
All right, stop right there. These are women that specializes in the what? The what of pregnancy?
Normal process of pregnancy.
These are women that specializes in the normal process of pregnancy. You understand? That's what a midwife is. All right. All the other things is extra, but that's what the key thing. That's what people get a midwife for. You get a midwife for when you're pregnant. Okay, and they help you along the pregnancy, and they help with giving birth. That's what a midwife is back in ancient times. Back when we were some slaves under the Egyptian, the Pharaoh, the king of Egypt. It says the king of Egypt spake to the Hebrew midwives, of which the name of one was Sifra, and the name of the other one, the name of the other is Pua. So these are two midwives right here, Sifra and Pua. Verse 16. And he said, when ye do the office of a midwife, meaning you're helping women give birth, okay? And so when ye do the office of a midwife to the Hebrew women and see them upon the stools, they upon the stools, they're about to give birth, okay? If it be a son, then ye shall kill him. You see what I'm saying? This is what the king of Egypt did. This is what the Pharaoh did. He told the two midwives, if you see a son, if a woman get on the stools and start giving birth, you understand, and you see a son, then ye shall kill him. But if it be a daughter, then she shall live. Now, so look, this is like an early version of abortion. You understand? It's the early version of abortion. The king wanted, you know what I'm saying? When the Hebrew women had babies, and if it was a son, then the Pharaoh wanted the midwives to kill the son. What does that do? What that do is that sets back a whole generation of men. That sets back a whole generation of men. Okay, go ahead. You have something to say?
So when Pharaoh ordered for the Hebrew women's son to be killed, do that mean it's because he didn't want us to multiply?
Yeah. If you read further, and if you read further up in the scriptures, it said that after Joseph died, another Pharaoh arose that didn't know Joseph, and then during this time we was growing in power. We was growing. Now remember back then when Joseph was alive, it was 72 souls. Joseph and his family, Jacob and his sons, you know what I'm saying, the 12 sons and 8 kids and 8 children. Okay. But over the course of period of time, we grew. We grew very big. Just like now, ain't we growing? You know what I'm saying? Women be having kids back to back to back to back to back. The same thing right now today. Back then, we was growing. All right. And the Pharaoh said, we got to deal wisely with them. So what they do? They made us work even harder in the fields. You understand? They had us building all types of monuments. You know what I'm saying? They made our slavery, they made our bondage hell. Same thing today. All right. But back then, same thing was going on now. Abortions. All right. It was abortions back then. And we're reading it right now. The Pharaoh wanted these two midwife sisters to kill the son when the Hebrew woman is having a child. If it's a son, he want the midwives to kill the son, and if it's a daughter, let the daughter live. All right, this is a form of abortion, man. This is a form of pregnancy termination. All right, and guess what? Let me tell you something awesome about these two sisters, man. We're gonna read further down, verse 17. But the midwives feared God and did not as the king of Egypt commanded them, but saved the men children alive. Look, that's how heavy these sisters is, man. We should be examples. Well, these sisters should be examples to other Black, Hispanic, and Native women. Instead of listening to the Pharaoh, you understand? Instead of listening to the Pharaoh to abort these the children, the boy children, these midwives, it said they feared the Lord. Right now, we live in a society where Black women don't fear the Lord. They do not fear the Lord, which is why they walk into clinics, man. They walk into Planned Parenthood. You understand? And they proceed to get abortions. Why? Because we live in this Western culture where America teaches our women that, you know what I'm saying, have an abortion. You ain't gonna get that promotion at work. You understand? You can't get your degrees. Work is more important than a family. You understand? But if you talk to women that's up in age, that's like 50 or 60 or whatnot, you understand? They'll tell you. The ones that focused on working instead of having a family, shit, my auntie was one of them. My auntie died with no children. She damn near died by herself. She died by herself with no one to help her, man. Because she focused on her career more than her thoughts of making a family. You understand? I mean, look, last time I checked, being a mother is the most honorable thing you could be. And it's respectable. And everybody should look at that as a respectable, you're a respectable woman, man, because it's hard to take care of a family. It's hard. A woman taking care of a family, that, first of all, it's amazing. You know what I'm saying? And it's hard. It's not easy taking care of a family. It's not easy taking care of a man. It's not easy taking care of children. It's not easy taking care of your house. But you do it because that's what being a mother is all about. This day and age, you understand? This day and age, we got women taking the morning after pill. I heard about this morning after pill that's called what? Jolie? That's called the Julie pill. First of all, I wonder why they call it the Julie pill. It's probably named after a white woman about something. But you know what I'm saying? These morning after pills, I'm gonna keep them 100. These morning after pills are for whores, are straight whores that do not want responsibility of taking care of a child after they sexual escapades, man. After that one night stand. But we all grown. We know that sex brings forth children. Sex brings forth children. But it seems like we forgot that. It seems like we use sex as an extracurricular activity. You understand? It's just something to do when we're bored. You understand? Oh, it's a Tuesday. It's a Wednesday morning. Hey, you calling up? It's a Tuesday night. What you calling up your one night stand? You on social media, on some dating sites, looking for your next one night stand, looking for your next sexual escapade, and then y'all not using no condom. Y'all not using any type of protection to avoid pregnancy, like a condom. You understand? Y'all is gonna be irresponsible adults. Y'all gonna have sexual relations unprotected. And guess what? Now you gotta go get a morning after pill. Now you gotta go get the what's called Julie. You gotta go get the Julie. That's what they're gonna be saying now. That's what women gonna be saying now. I gotta go get the Julie.
Julie, my best friend.
Oh, Julie's my best friend. You understand? They gotta go rush to the store to grab that morning after pill because they don't want to fear. They don't want to fear because they fear the responsibility of children.
Girl, I had a wild night. Ooh, I gotta call my best friend Julie.
Right, right. She gotta call her best friend Julie, man. You understand? And you know that's so evil and diabolical. The Lord said, "Be fruitful and multiply." You got to understand when you're grown up and you're having sexual relations, you should be only having sexual relations with your husband or your wife. You should be meeting up with no random individuals for a sexual escapade, and then the next day y'all not talking to each other no more. According to the Bible, last time I checked, according to the Bible, sex is marriage. So you think you had a one night stand and you're not going to ever see him again? No, that's your wife. No, that's your husband. You understand? But right now, America is about having fun to a lot of individuals. It's about having fun and not reaping the consequences for your actions. That's the problem, and that's the main issue that we dealing in amongst black women. Black women always want to have fun. It's about fun. It's about these women are selfish, man. They selfish. They don't care about nobody but themselves. If it don't benefit them, then they don't want no parts of it. You understand? They don't want no parts of it. Instead of being a mother and being a wife, you understand? They want to what they want to be. They want to be party girls. They want to be city girls. They want to be single and free to mingle. But yet you didn't have about 10 one-night stands. You had 10 one-night stands. How the hell are you single and ready to mingle? What the scripture say? You got 10 husbands. You is a certified whore, pretty much a certified hoe. You understand? You know what? And that's what's wrong, man. The thing about this is we don't get on black women like the black women get on men. You know what I'm saying? Everybody look at the men. It's the men's fault. You understand? We got to blame the men. Blame the men. Well, guess what? We're owning up. Black men, we're owning up to our stuff. We're owning up to whatever we messed up on. But you gotta own up to the things that you messed up on. You understand? You're not innocent. You are not innocent. All right? And you know, that's what we gotta fix in our nation, man. All right, let's keep going. You understand? But yeah, let's give it up to these two sisters, man. These two sisters disobeyed the order of the Pharaoh because they feared the Lord that much more. You understand? They didn't care about their lives. They care about what the Most High wanted. All right? And that's why these sisters is written in this book. These sisters is written in this history book because of their noble deed of not obeying the Pharaoh, man. And now those men children lived. All right? Let me show y'all the history of abortion. Not history, but you understand, here in America. Where did the idea of abortions really come from in America? It started with the eugenics program. Give me 1 second, Salaki. Let me go ahead and share this real quick. Let's share my screen with, okay. Let's post this up. All right. All right. This is the eugenics. Was the eugenics program, and the eugenics program was headed by Margaret Sanger. We all know Margaret Sanger was a known white supremacist. You understand? So we're going to read from here. It says, for one, Sanger was a strong proponent of eugenics, and many of her writings demonstrated the clear link she saw between controlling reproduction of certain groups and birth control. You hear that? She wants to control the reproduction of certain groups and birth control. We know who the people is, black people. Sanger believed that the country was suffering greatly due to uncontrolled reproduction. You hear that? Uncontrolled reproduction. Specifically, the unstable majority of the feeble-minded people living in city slums, overridden with disease, poverty, and other struggles. You hear this? This is what Margaret Sanger thought about black people, man. She thought that the country was suffering greatly due to uncontrolled reproduction, specifically the unstable majority of the feeble-minded people living in city slums, overridden with disease, poverty, and other struggles. At the same time, it was thought that feeble-mindedness was associated with abnormally high rates of fertility. So this devil thought that because black people had an abnormally high rate of fertility, that we were feeble. It was considered being feeble-minded, which was described as a biological menace. And many believe that reproduction of feeble-minded people will only result in pauperism or insanity in the following generations. Because of this, Sanger and many others turned towards contraceptives. Don't black women use these? Don't black women use these contraceptives today? Don't black women use these contraceptives today? What are some contraceptives that they use? One of them, what we said earlier, was the morning after pill, the Julie. What else? They got that IED. That's what it's called, right? The IUD, that birth control. What else? The who? The Nord plant. The birth control shot. You see what I'm saying? It's so many contraceptives that women use to not get pregnant. You understand? And it's all resorting from this devil named Margaret Sanger trying to keep the black population low. The black population low, man. This devil, see, this is how the oppressor thinks. Your oppressor thinks you're feeble-minded. You understand that you're feeble-minded, that you live in the slums. You understand? You have abnormally high rates of fertility because you were feeble-minded, because you were dumb. Because you were dumb. That's exactly what she said. What you think feeble-minded means? Feeble-minded means dumb. You're dumb. That's what you think of black people as being dumb. Don't white people don't person think that of us today? Don't they look at us as dumb? I mean, come on, man. Let's keep on reading. Let's go back. Salaki. It says, because of this, Sanger and many others turned towards contraceptives to fight this emergency in order to lessen the burden on and protect the intelligence of the community as a whole. Sanger argued that the modern society had been too laissez-faire, respecting the personal liberty of the individual only in regard to the unrestricted and irresponsible bringing into the world of filth and poverty and overcrowding processions of infants foredoomed to death or heritable disease. This is what she said. She said that we're filth and poverty and overcrowding. That's crazy. In other words, Sanger argued that feeble-minded people should not be granted the personal liberty to reproduce as much as normal people. Rather, she proposed the segregation and sterilization of feeble-minded groups. So what does that tell you? So what does that tell you? What does that show you? All right? That show you that this woman brought forth a whole age of abortion. This lady brought forth a whole age of, black people, you know what I'm saying, killing their children. You understand? First they used contraceptives, and then, okay, Devon Sadler. Give me 1 second. Just put that in there. Okay, I'm just going to ignore your comment from Devon or whatever your name is. Sound like a girl name. He said, "Throw JC in the garbage, man. I.S.U.P.K. just black Christians." You understand? Look, it doesn't. Look, whether you think we're Christians or not, whatever you say don't matter. Whatever you say don't matter, man. Clearly, it don't. All right, we're gonna keep going on with the lesson, man. We ain't gonna have Satan come in here disturbing the class. All right. So, what does that tell you? That's telling you that this devil Margaret Sanger, you understand? Her and her entire race, you understand, looked at black people as being feeble-minded. That we shouldn't have the liberty to be reproducing like normal people. So what, we will consider normal people? That's what it was. That's what he's saying. She's saying that we shouldn't have the luxury of reproducing as normal people, which is why they introduce contraceptives, which is why they do all types of things to our people, man. They trying to sterilize us low key, and with our food and our water and everything that we do, they trying to sterilize us. You understand? A woman go to the clinic because she got a headache, and then they treat her for a headache. At the same time, they treating her to have her stop reproducing. They're doing something to get her sterile. Okay? The New Testament called y'all Christians. All right, look at this guy right here, man. Look. Lord be with you, you know what I'm saying? Teaching the class. You understand? And if we're so-called Christians, and we're the real Christians, what is being a Christian? Being a Christian is following Jesus Christ. You understand? And real Christians that go to the Christian church do not follow the Bible. They do not follow the law, statutes, and commandments. So if you want to say that I.S.U.P.K. are Christians, then, we don't look at ourselves as Christians because Christians have a negative connotation. But just, Jesus committed sin multiple times. Jesus have committed no sin. Prove that. Prove that Jesus Christ committed a sin. Prove it. If you can't prove it, then just shut up, man. You're disturbing the class. All right? Jesus didn't follow the commandments. Jesus followed all of the commandments. All right? But look, you take it away from the class. Look, man, I'm going to have to put you on timeout, bro. You blocked for 5 minutes. All right, you disturbing the class. All right, so yeah, man. So this is why we got to teach blacks and Hispanic and Native women, you know what I'm saying, that you shouldn't be aborting your child. When you abort your child, you fall in a category of what white people want you to be. They want you to be a feeble-minded. It is feeble-mindedness to go abort your child. It's feeble-mindedness. You're a dumb person to do that. Why would you? You think white people are going at a tune of thousands aborting their children? No. No, but they put abortion on you. You see the trick? You see the game? All right, let's read some more up in this article. Give me 1 second. Oops. Give me 1 second here. Hold on. Let's make this a little bit bigger. In fact, let me go ahead and shrink that a little bit. Okay. All right, where I'm at. I'm going to start right here. It says, in other words, Sanger argued that feeble-minded people should not be granted the personal liberty to reproduce as much as normal people. What is normal people, first of all? Normal people just like white people? Like, let me tell you something. Just because you talk proper, you talk like a white person, don't mean you're smart. You just know how to talk proper. That's it. I know a lot of people that talk proper and are just stupid. Okay? It says, rather, she proposed the segregation and sterilization of feeble-minded groups. Who is she talking about? She's talking about black people. She's talking about Hispanics and Native people. It says sterilization of feeble-minded groups. Specifically, she argued that every feeble-minded girl in her childbearing age needed to be segregated in order to prevent her from bearing imbecile children. Sanger also argued that the male defectives are no less dangerous, claiming that segregation of women will only handle part of the problem, and therefore the immediate sterilization of men was needed in order to ensure that parenthood is absolutely prohibited to the feeble-minded. Therefore, Sanger demonstrated clear objections to free abilities to reproduce in lesser than groups of society. And she recognized the way in which birth control can help prevent population growth in feeble-minded groups. So, what does that go to tell you, man? What does that goes to show you? That goes to show you that it's an agenda. First of all, it's an agenda to sterilize blacks and Hispanics and Native women. You understand? You got to be careful when you go to the doctor. You know what I'm saying? You might be getting treated for a headache, and then they end up, you know, giving you a shot of something that you don't know what's in it, and they end up sterilizing you for life. You can't have no more children. So you got to be careful with these doctors, man. You got to understand what the scripture in Micah, I believe Micah 2:1 or Micah 3:1 say. It says that this is not our rest. We should be sitting there feeling all comfortable, you know what I'm saying? Because a white person come in the room, you know, with a needle full of medicine. She tell you it's medicine, but it's really something to sterilize you. It's something to prevent you from having children. Okay, so that's why we gotta watch out, man. We still in the land of our captivity. We are still in the land of our oppressors. You understand? And the white man is still the devil that the Bible speaks of. You know what I'm saying? And with that being said, you gotta be careful. Everything that you do here in America, you gotta be careful. You gotta be on your guard always. What the scriptures say, man? The scriptures say in Lamentations, what? I believe 3:1. It says that they hunt our steps. These people are still hunting our steps. Okay? They still hunt our steps. All right, I want to show you guys another. 1 second. Let me show you guys another article. I'm gonna show you the percentage, not percentage. I'm gonna show you the abortion rate. Okay, this is an article. This is in fact this is like a PowerPoint presentation. All right, of black women and abortion. All right, Here it says, let me see. I don't know if y'all see it. Let me switch the view. Okay, so y'all can see that a little bit better. All right. It says Black Women and Abortion. All right. This is by Arnold Colbert, the founder / CEO of Breath of Life, LLC, and Breath of Life Foundation, LLC. Okay. This is post Grosnell testimonial. Black women and abortion. Abortion is the leading cause of death for African Americans, more than all other causes combined, including AIDS, violent crimes, accidents, cancer, and heart disease. In 2008, Black women had abortions at a rate of 3.4 times higher than white women. In 2008, Black women received 30% of the abortions, even though African Americans are only about 13% of the population, 12.6% of the population. I just rounded it off to 13. Okay. Over their lifetime, Black women average 1.6 more pregnancies than white women, but are 5 times more likely to have a pregnancy that ends in abortion. More than 16 million Black babies have died by abortion since 1973. That is sad. About 16 million. So when we say that number about 400,000 a year, we're not making that up. You understand? You're looking at the proof. Okay? Approximately, listen to this. This is the real nitty-gritty details. The nitty-gritty details is what we read back right here. When it said more than 16 million Black babies have died by abortion since 1973. But it says approximately 360,000 preborn Black babies are aborted every year, nearly 1,000 per day. Good night. And they keep going. It says Planned Parenthood has historically targeted African Americans for abortion. Sanger's Negro Project in 1939 was intended to stop the growth of the Black community. I mean, y'all think we making this up? I mean, come on. I mean, what? You think we making this up? The numbers do not lie. We're not making this up. We're not making it up. We're reading off to you the numbers. Over 16 million since 1973. 16 million Black babies has been aborted. And I'm reading you to these numbers. These are professional people that have done the studies. They have done the studies, man. In universities. 16 million Black babies are dead since 1973. It says about 360,000 Black babies are aborted every year. I said 400,000. Well, whoop-de-doo, I'm 40,000 off. But we talking about 360,000. I mean, come on, man. That is sad, man. That's sad. Okay? That's sad, man. When are we going to start caring about our community? When are we going to start caring about the children that be aborted? When are we going to care about our community, man? You understand? We talking about Black on Black crime. Well, shit, this is Black on Black crime right here. Black women is killing babies. It's still murder. It's still murder, regardless on how you feel, regardless of what America feels about it. What about what God feels about it? Do you take and consider what God feels about you going to abort a baby that He blessed you with? The scriptures say that. What the scriptures say? The scriptures say that being pregnant or having a baby is a blessing from the Lord, man. And you're aborting that blessing. So what? Did God make a mistake? Did God make a mistake in giving you a baby? Did He make a mistake? What's the answer, black woman? Did He make a mistake? Thought God's supposed to be perfect, right? So did God make a mistake by sending you a baby, and then you go and abort the baby? These are questions that need to be answered, because you're aborting something precious, man. These children that's coming from the Lord is supposed to be for our next generation, man. We're supposed to protect these children. How can we protect these children when the being that's supposed to deliver the baby, to bring the baby forth, is the one that's going in and killing the baby before the baby is even born? That is sad, man. And then on top of that, you got your enemies, man. You got enemies. You got your enemies running to the forefront, running to the bringing up contraptions like Planned Parenthood. We just read the Margaret Sanger Negro Project, and it said that Planned Parenthood specifically targets the black community to stop pregnancy and stop reproduction in the black community. I mean, come on. You understand? Go ahead.
When I was living in Portland, Oregon, it was like in the black community, in the black neighborhoods, like you would see like a liquor store, a weed store, and Planned Parenthood.
Yep, and see, it's a target audience with Planned Parenthood. Why do you think there's Planned Parenthood in the black community? I don't see a Planned Parenthood in the white communities. I don't see it. Same reason why there's liquor stores damn near every corner in the black community. Why you see damn near churches on every corner in the black community. Why you see is smoke shops and on every corner in the black community. Because they're trying to stop you from something. They're trying to stop you from coming together. They want you to pick up guns and kill each other. They want you to fight each other. They want you to kill each other off. They want the women to be whores. They want the women to abort their babies. You understand? If you're killing yourselves as more as you're bringing yourself in. That's sad, man. Let's finish reading some more of this. Let's finish this up. Let's finish reading this. And we're going to get back in the scriptures. Let's start from here. It says, over their lifetime, black women average 1.6 more pregnancies than white women, but are 5 times more likely to have a pregnancy that ends in abortion. More than 16 million black babies have died by abortion since 1973. Approximately 360,000 preborn black babies are aborted every year, nearly 1,000 per day. Planned Parenthood has historically targeted African Americans for abortion. Sanger's Negro Project in 1939 was intended to stop the growth of the black community. Sanger persuaded black pastors to push her population control program within their congregation. Pastor Porkchop got a hand in it too. Pastor Porkchop got a hand in it too. You understand? Pastor Porkchop has a hand in it too. Why do you think we say that? You know what I'm saying? What the scriptures say? The scriptures say that the pastors. I'm paraphrasing that the pastors lead the sheep to the slaughter. That's what they're doing. You want to know why your pastor's not protecting you? Because they teamed up with the government. And what that means for the pastor? Cha-ching! What's that noise? It sound like a cash register. What's that? Cha-ching! Cha-ching! Cash that noise. Cha-ching! That's all the pastor see. All the pastor sees is dollar signs, man. He don't see your well-being. Your pastors is teaming up with Planned Parenthood, and they're pushing that into their own congregation. I mean, God damn. I mean, oh my God. Goodness. I mean, is that mind blowing? Is that mind blowing? It's very mind blowing, but is it mind blowing? I don't think it's really mind blowing. I mean, look what happened to us, huh?
It's mind blowing to some.
It's mind blowing to some, but to us, in the truth, it's not mind blowing. We know this stuff goes on. We know that the pastor is the traitor to black people. You know what I'm saying? That's why your pastors is one of your worst enemies. Your pastor would rather take a check than to see of the well-being of his people. You're a pastor. You're supposed to be in charge of your community. You're supposed to be the spiritual guide to everybody in the community, but you're taking a check from the government to not teach certain things as in the Bible. You're taking a check from the government to push Planned Parenthood, to push abortion throughout your congregation. What that brother died. What's his name? His name was John Witherspoon. What he used to do? The government told you to don't tell nobody. That's what he did. He said, don't tell nobody. The government told you, and guess what? You fell for the whistle, man. All right, let's finish wrapping this up. We're gonna get back in the scriptures, and then we're gonna show you abortions in the scriptures. You said what? The actor? Yeah, John Witherspoon. All right, let's get back in the scriptures real quick. All right. It says Sanger's Negro Project in 1939 was intended to stop the growth of the black community. Sanger persuaded black pastors to push her population control program within their congregation. It says black pro-life leaders have long insisted that Planned Parenthood purposely placed its abortion facilities in or near black neighborhoods. Life Issues Institute's 2005 study of Census 2000 data confirmed that 60% of Planned Parenthood surgical abortion facilities were located in close proximity to black neighborhoods, and 78% were near black and Hispanic Latina neighborhoods. I mean, you can't make this up. I mean, look, and it goes down to even more data. You know what I'm saying? I think we have a little bit more time to go into this data some more. All right, and it asks the question: does Planned Parenthood still target minorities for abortion? Yeah. This is the census data that was collected in 2010 to reveal that this targeting still exists. You think 10 years later, 12 years later, you think Planned Parenthood is still targeting black communities and Hispanic communities? You goddamn right they are. It says back in 2010, the census for data was for this. 62% of Planned Parenthood surgical abortion facilities are within walking distance, 2 miles of relatively high black populations. 79% of Planned Parenthood Surgical abortion facilities are within walking distance, 2 miles of relatively high Black or Hispanic / Latina populations. I mean, you can't make this up. You cannot make this up. You can't make this up, man. I mean, look, this is what we do, man. First of all, the I.S.U.P.K under Commander General Yahanna, man, we here to talk about this, man. We're here to talk about about a will and power of the Most High God. You understand? In the name of Yahweh to stop this, man. We pray to the Lord that the Lord change Black women and Hispanic women to not have abortions, not kill our own people no more. This is what we hope for, man. I'm bringing to you some heavy duty knowledge, man. This is knowledge that they want to keep from you. This is knowledge that they want to keep from you. But guess what? The I.S.U.P.K and the Commander General Yahanna, we're going to bring it forth. You understand me? All right, we're going to go back in the scriptures. All right. Let's go to Exodus 20 and 13. All right. So this is Exodus chapter 20, verse 13. It says, "Thou shalt not kill." Now, let's break this down. Everybody thinks that, you know what I'm saying, you can't kill anybody. Let me ask you a question. Can you defend yourself? If someone's trying to attack you and hurt you, don't you have the right to defend yourself? Now, if you end up killing someone because you're defending your life and the person that's trying to kill you is trying to take your life, don't you have the right to defend your own life? I mean, that's a God-given right. You see what I'm saying? So you know it's not talking about not to kill anybody, because you could kill someone by defending yourself. It's talking about murder. Thou shalt not murder. Thou shalt not unjustly kill anybody. I see the key word, unjustly. Unjustly. Murder is an unjust killing or unjust unaliving someone. If I said it right, unaliving. I don't know why they say that now. I guess the social media is so strict with the words that you say. You know what I'm saying? Well, that's my first time ever saying that, unaliving someone. Murder is unjustly unaliving someone. All right? But look, let me tell you something. Abortion, you are unjustly unaliving someone. Okay? So, if you're unjustly unaliving someone, it's murder. It says, "Thou shalt not kill," or "Thou shalt not murder." You already broke one of the 10 Commandments. You understand? You're breaking the 10 Commandments. For you so-called Christians out there, or you so-called holier than thou people, you didn't kill. Thou shalt not murder. You kill somebody. You know what I'm saying? And then your oppressor, the white man, want to put brainwashes in your mind to tell you, "Oh, that fetus don't have no life. That fetus isn't even alive." But yet you consider a germ from a far away planet to be alive. First of all, these people are stupid. That's why the white man is the devil that the Bible speaks of. These people are straight dumb. Okay? And second of all, I mean, come on. I mean, second of all, like the fetus has a heartbeat. 72 hours after what? The sperm, after the implantation. 72 hours after the implantation, the fetus is alive. That's a live organism in your stomach. Anything that has a heartbeat is alive. Trees are alive. You don't think trees are alive? Trees are alive. Plants are alive. Trees can feel pain. Plants can feel pain. Insects are alive. The little germs, the bacteria are alive. But yet a fetus that grows in a mother's womb isn't alive? Make it make sense. You can't make it make sense because that logic is for stupid people. It's for stupid people, man. I mean, come on. All right, so let's go ahead back in the scriptures. Thou shalt not kill. Let's move on to the next one. Let's go to Deuteronomy 28 and 56. Deuteronomy chapter 58, verse what, 26? Yeah, 28, verse 56. Yep. Deuteronomy 28, verse 56. It says, the tender and delicate women among you, which would not adventure to set her soles of her foot upon the ground for delicateness and tenderness, her eyes shall be evil towards the husband of her bosom, and towards her son, and towards her daughter. I mean, you hear that? Verse 57. And toward the young one that cometh out between her feet, and towards her children which she shall bear, for she shall eat them for want of all things secretly, in the siege and straitness, wherewith thy enemy shall distress thee in thy gates. I mean, look, this is right here. This is a curse from the Lord for breaking his laws that our women would hate. Black women would hate their husbands, which they do right now, because they leave them. They get with them and they leave them. How do you know 80% of black marriages back then used to be 90%? Black people had successful marriages 60 years ago, 70 years ago. But now 80% of black women leave their marriage. They leave their man. It's a fact. You get with a black woman or a Hispanic woman, she will leave you if you're not in the UPK. If you're not in the I.S.U.P.K. and the Commander General Yahanna, 80% chance that your woman will leave you. For a fact. That's what the statistics say. All right? Let's drop that. Let's go on to Deuteronomy 28 and 59. Let's drop down to 59. It says, and then the Lord will make thy plagues wonderful and the plagues of thy seed, even great plagues, and of long continuance, and sore sickness, and long continuance. It's a plague. You understand? It's a plague for a woman to go and abort her child while her child's in her womb. That is a plague. That is a curse. You understand? And black women do this to the tune of 360,000 a year. You can't tell me that's not a curse. You can't tell me that this is not a curse. This is a curse from the Lord. That our women is going to the abortion clinic and they killing their seed. That is a curse from the Lord. We got to change that, man. This is why the men in the I.S.U.P.K, this is why we do what we do. This is why we do what we do. Salaki, give me 1 second. I accidentally tipped over this tray. All right, we back in business, y'all. Salaki. Okay. So, you know what I'm saying? This is a curse from the Lord. This is why we got to stay focused and stay vigilant about what's going on in our communities, man. We got to focus on our communities. We got to stay vigilant. We got to watch what your adversary, the devil, is doing. We just read that Margaret Sanger. We just read that Margaret Sanger has started the Negro Project. You understand? Started the Negro Project to defund the black population. Not defund, but depopulate the black community. You understand? That's what Planned Parenthood is all about. And not only that, she got your pastors involved. So your pastors is pushing that throughout the congregation. I mean, come on, man. Come on. This is why the white man is the devil that the Bible speaks of. You understand? And we got to stop being dumb. We got to stop falling for the okie doke. You got enemies, black man, Hispanic man. You got enemies according to the Bible, man. And the simple fact that you don't realize that, the simple fact that you do not realize that is sad. It's sad. Okay? This is why the Lord wants us to separate ourselves. We have to separate ourselves and we got to gather ourselves together, man. We got to follow, instead of following, we got to follow the Lord's rules. The Lord don't want you committing abortion, black women, Hispanic women, Native women. Stop committing abortions. You understand? What you're doing is you're helping Margaret Sanger. You're helping the eugenics program. You're helping the Negro Project. You're helping them by aborting your babies. You understand? It says over 16 million black babies, you understand, since 1973 has been aborted. That is sad. And you know what they use the black fetuses for after they abort them? Guess what they use them for? They use them for research. What kind of research? You know it.
To see how they operate.
No, how about let's look it up. Let's look it up. Type in. That's why I wish we had Siri. But type in what does aborted fetus? What does scientists use aborted fetuses for? Majority of the time they use black fetuses because that's so you got 16 million black fetuses being aborted. There's a lot of research going on. All right, let's go ahead. We'll wait till the sister until she gets that information. Got this ash everywhere now. You found it?
It says analysts of the NIH project shows that the tissue is used most heavily for research on infectious diseases, especially HIV/AIDS, in the study.
Yeah, all of that. The majority of the time they use it for stem cell research. You understand? Stem cell research. Well, what they do is they take our aborted fetuses that they get from black women and they use it to benefit white people lives, white people illnesses. They fix white people diseases, white people illnesses, you know what I'm saying, and all of that. Yeah, yeah. What else you reading?
I found an article.
What is the article? What was it saying?
The article says the truth about fetal tissue research. And it says every month, Lishan Su receives a small test tube on ice from a company in California. In it is a piece of liver from a human fetus aborted at about 14 and 19 weeks of pregnancy.
That's a lot.
Sue and his staff at the University of North Carolina at Chapel Hill carefully grind the liver centrifuge it and then extract a purified liver and blood forming stem cells. They inject the cells into the liver of newborn mice and allow those mice to mature. The resulting animals are the only humanized mice with both functioning human liver and immune cells. And for Sue, they are invisible in his work on hepatitis B and C, allowing him to probe how the virus evades the human immune system and cause chronic liver disease. Using fetal tissue is not an easy choice, but so far there is no better choice, says Sue, who has tried and failed to make a humanized mouse with other techniques. Many biomedical research depends on fetal tissue research to really save human lives, he said. And I think many of them feel the same way.
You understand? They use fetal tissues for everything, all types of research, stem cell research, disease research. This is why they heavily push abortion in the black community through songs, through music, Negro Project, through pastors, all types of stuff. All right. I'm about to go ahead and end the class. All right. With that being said, is there any other questions in the class? If not, I'm going to go ahead and read the security announcements. Okay. This is the I.S.U.P.K security announcements. We are the I.S.U.P.K. Started out at 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York. Rule for new brother or sister. When a new brother or sister comes into the school, they are off limits for 6 months. They are to be saluted only. They are to be saluted only. They are here to shed themselves of the world. If they need transportation, the teacher will arrange it. After 6 months, if a brother or sister has an interest in a particular person, he or she must get permission from the head to speak to a brother or sister. There is another 6 months in which the brother and sister will court each other. After this 6 month period, the brother and sister will get permission from the head to marry. Tithes, which is a commandment, Numbers 18:21, Malachi 3:8-10, means tenth in the Hebrew, ma'ashua. 10% of every penny of any increase the Lord gives you. Give to the Treasury Department or a teacher. Priest fund, free will offering for priests, not mandatory, whatsoever amount you would like. The next holy convocation coming up is, give me 1 second. Let me get that for you guys. The next holy convocation is the memorial of blowing of trumpets, which is February in September the 15th. All right. If anyone wants to be a trooper in the school, start wearing all black boots, shirts, headband, and scarf. With that, the Madium, which means to stand. Men of Israel, Amadium, Madium Shabbat, Amadium, Barak, Yahabah Shem Yahshua Barakatah, Yahmatah, Sar, which means to turn, face the sisters. Men of Israel, Amadium, Akim Slakin, Agwathia, Amadium, which means to stand. Men of Israel, Amadium, Madium Shabbat, Amadium, Barak, Yahweh Shamar Alatah Bashem Yahshua.
Yahweh Shamar Alatah Bashem Yahshua.
Yahmatah, class dismissed.